Hello, my sweet Kinderstart seedlings. Taking a look at this. What is that called again? When it shoots out of its seed. Very good. The story that I want to share with you guys is Zinnia's Flower Garden. I love this book because it's got some magical artwork in it, and we'll see if you guys can pick up on it. Grayson and I love how the author and illustrator does the illustrations in this book. Zinnia's Flower Garden. This is written by Monica Wellington and illustrated. And she dedicated this story to Dennis with love. Wonder who Dennis is. Could it be her husband? Maybe her son? I don't know. Let's back up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very, very close. I want you to see the pictures, too. Spring has arrived. Zinnia is getting her garden ready for planting. She digs up the soil and turns it over with her shovel. She takes out stones and rakes the dirt smooth. The warm sun feels so good as she's working hard. So remember, we talk about soil. Soil is a very important part to our seed and our plants. It is protecting the seed in there so that it can give the nutrients and air so it can start to sprout and grow. Zinnia carefully plants many kinds of flower seeds in rows. She covers the seeds with the dirt like a blanket and goes pat, pat, pat super gently, just like we did in our book. She sprinkles the ground with water. Those are definitely things that our flowers are good and plants are going to need. We need the nice soft soil and water. Look at what she's planting. Sunflowers and zinnias and marigolds and some other flowers. Zinnia waits for the seeds to sprout. The seeds need the sun to shine, it needs the rain to fall, and many days need to go by, and she can hardly wait for her seeds to grow. I feel like we're going to be like that too. Very anxious. Every day, Zinnia checks her garden to see if anything has happened. Look! The first seedling is poking out. It's poking its way through the dirt. So once it shoots out of its shoot, then it turns into a little tiny what? Sprout. Seedling, or like a sprout. Now Zinnia's garden is full and green sprouts are growing and seedlings are growing everywhere. Little stems are growing taller and taller and little leaves are getting bigger and bigger and little roots are starting to burrow deep into the soil. So once they start getting bigger and bigger and stronger, they turn into a plant. Zinnia takes care of her garden every day. When the sun is hot and the soil is dry, she waters it so her plants do not get thirsty. You don't want to overwater, but you don't want them to get thirsty. So she pulls up some of those pesky weeds that try to crowd her plants. She inspects them for greedy bugs, and she measures how tall and strong and healthy her plants are growing. Every day they get bigger and bigger. I love how she uses a ruler to help measure her plants. That's something that would be great to add into a journal, a seed journal. First thing in the morning, Zinnia runs out to check her garden. She's so excited to see her little buds growing on so many of her plants. Yay! Look at her. She's so excited. I'd be excited too. Look at these beautiful illustrations. So this is such a great coloring job. Maybe they use paint, but look at those plants super closely. Do you think that's an illustration or do you think that's a photograph? I think it's a photograph too. I love how they're using beautiful illustrations plus beautiful photographs. And then at last she finds what she's been waiting for, the very first flower. One bud has bloomed and it is beautiful. And what a sweet smell. There are many more buds that will soon open. So here's a picture of one of our buds. Sound that out. Tap it out. B-U-D. The garden grows and grows and grows with blossoming flowers. Zinnia paints, she reads, and picnics among them. Butterflies flutter, bees are buzzing. Zinnia's garden is her favorite place to be on these warm summer days. That is beautiful. I would
never cut mine.
No, you wouldn't cut yours. Yeah. Sometimes you do have to trim them up so that they don't get like, oh. Sometimes they don't thrive if they don't get trimmed, but I know it's hard. It's just you want to look at them and see them. Her flowers are abundant. What a fancy word. Abundant means many. There's an abundance of flowers. And Zinnia cuts some to arrange into bouquets. The fragrant scents of the flowers swirl around her in the warm breeze. So I love her sunflowers. And I love her zinnias. And I love them all. One hot summer day, Zinnia has a lemonade stand and puts up a sign. Pick your own flowers. Customers come and gather bunches of flowers and drop tips in the jar. It's a way to make a couple bucks, right? Don't forget to smell the flowers. In the autumn, which is a fancy word for fall, as it gets colder, Zinnia picks the last flowers from her garden. She finds ripe seeds that have formed and they are ready to be collected. She will save them and plant them for next year. So when she saves her seeds, she had so many flowers, she probably has an abundant amount of seeds for next year. So does that mean she has a little bit or a lot? A lot. Abundant. We got to use that word this weekend. The winter days are short, the sun is dim, and the ground is covered with snow. But Zinnia is already planning next year's garden when spring comes. She will be ready to grow her very own flowers again. So, in the mail, I have 2 sets of seeds. We have sunflower seeds and we have zinnia seeds, just like in the book. We're not going to plant them together. We're going to plant them separately. And we are going to watch them sprout. We are going to watch them shoot. We are going to watch them bloom. And we're going to do this all together. And we're going to document it in our seed journal. I will be sending some more information as the weekend progresses. And I want to make sure that you mommies and daddies let me know when you get the mail so that we can all plant them together on the same day. See you soon.